but that's okay. I'm also a business major, so I'm going to be public speaking a lot, so it's a good thing. I get nervous. And I'm speaking about fear tonight. So, hi everyone, I'm Ellen Krueger, and tonight I'm going to talk about anxiety, worry, and fear, and the roles they play and have played in my life. By sharing my own struggles, I hope to encourage you to bring your worries and fears to God. My first memory of fear playing a role in my life happened when I was 10. I went to church with my grandparents one Sunday, and I heard the hymn, "Have No Fear, Little Flock." This is the first time that I felt God was directly speaking to me. Even though I was still too young to understand what having a personal relationship with Christ meant, I knew He was present in my life. Whenever I was afraid, I would sing this song, and it would reaffirm that God was with me. For those of you who are not familiar with this particular hymn, this is how the first verse goes, and I'm going to sing it. Have no fear, little flock, have no fear, little flock, for the Father has chosen to give you the kingdom. Have no fear, little flock. So that's that. I do karaoke on the side. That's cool. While growing up, I was deathly afraid of tornadoes, and you better believe that I sang "Have No Fear, Little Flock" while running down the stairs to the basement with my dogs, my money, blankets, and the Bible. Obviously, these are the essentials you want to have when you think that your house is going to be destroyed by a tornado, right? Right. My worries may have changed once I got older, but anxiety still remained a problem in my life. I first learned about general anxiety disorder while I was a senior in high school. I was in a class called Personal and Family Issues, with that lovely lady right there, and one day we were discussing mental disorders. That night, I gave my mom my self-diagnosis. Obviously, if you know me, you know self-diagnoses are totally up my alley. The following week, we went to the doctor, and I in fact did have anxiety. I was prescribed medication, and that became my new normal. Naturally, I became the poster child for anxiety in my mother's eyes. So for my 18th birthday, she gave me a ring that had Philippians 4:6 on it, and some of you have Philippians 4:6 and 7, because I think 7 is also an important verse, but my ring just has verse 6. And that says, I'll read for it, 6 and 7, because I like them both. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. I did not realize the significance that this verse would have in my life, but I definitely understand it now. This verse has truly helped me through some rough moments, and my ring serves as a constant reminder of how wonderful God really is and how much He loves and cares about me. Fast forward to my first year at Gustavus. Life was great. I was at the most magical place in the world. For those of you who do not know, I compare it to Disney World often. And I had the most incredible friends. Gotta find my spot. And most importantly, I was happy. I felt normal. So the summer after my freshman year, I decided to go off medication. I hardly noticed the change sophomore year, because spring semester I was living in Sweden, having the time of my life without a care in the world. The most stressful thing I did throughout those 5 months was wait in line for 20 minutes for a cheeseburger. However, I will add, this was the most beautiful cheeseburger I had ever seen in my life. Swedes know what's up. After being abroad for a semester, junior year came as quite a wake-up call to me, and with it came a lot of stress and anxiety. The fear of not being enough was starting to eat away at me. I felt I was an inadequate Christian, daughter, sister, friend, and student. This was especially prevalent during spring semester as I was dealing with changing friendships, the internship search, and maintaining good grades. This was a defining moment in my life, and God worked through some pretty special people to help me see my current mental state. I thought I was experiencing personal growth, but apparently I was wrong. It was going to be my year. I was turning into a beautiful butterfly. People thought differently. Thankfully, my friend Elizabeth, who's right there, shared her concerns with me and encouraged me to go back on anxiety medication. I was hesitant at first because I just wanted to be normal. But after countless conversations with some lovely friends, I decided going back on medication was what was best for me and necessary. Around the time I went back on meds, my mom told me about a Bible study called Breaking Free from Fear, which was happening at her church. Obviously, since I'm the poster child for anxiety and anything that is closely related to it, I signed up. This Bible study definitely changed my life. 3 things I learned that I will take with me forever were idolatry, the attributes of God, and the fact that God is always up to something good. I never thought I had a problem with idols, but I was definitely wrong. This Bible study taught me that idols are anyone or anything that captures our hearts, minds, and affections more than God. Specific people in my life and perfectionism had become my idols, and they were certainly the roots of my worries. Perfectionism and just the fear of not being enough. I had too high of expectations on myself, and it was eating at me, and I realized the only thing that matters is how God sees me and my identity in Him, and that's good enough. Through the Bible study, I gained a better understanding of who God really is by learning His attributes. God is omnipresent, sovereign, infinite, loving, faithful, good, and so much more. So why do we continuously choose fear instead of faith when these are God's characteristics? Finally, my favorite thing that I learned from this Bible study is the fact that God is always up to something good, and it is so very true. Romans 8:28, which some of you also might have received tonight, says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Even at our lowest points in life, God is making us stronger versions of ourselves and preparing us for something greater. So how am I dealing with these things today? Well, since I am a sinner and fall short daily, anxiety, worry, and fear will always be in my life. Fortunately, I am in constant communication with God throughout the day, and this fills me with a sense of peace when I begin to feel anxious. Also, I try to have an attitude of gratitude. I am so very blessed in life, and that is what I try to focus on daily. It is progress, not perfection, when it comes to these things, though, right? In 1 Peter 5:7 tells us, some of you also might have received this one, "Cast all your anxieties on Him because He cares for you." Tonight I'm struggling with this fear of ambiguity in my life. I'm trying to find my little black sheet that all of you also have received. Got it? We're good. Okay, so get your black sheet out. Okay, so tonight I'm struggling with this fear of ambiguity in my life. But later you're going to see me walk it over and lay it at the cross. And I would like you to do the same thing with your fears and worries. You can think about it for a moment. It can remain confidential. Even if you don't struggle with anxiety like I do, you still have things that stress you out, that make you worry. It might be whether or not you can afford to pay for a semester at Gustavus, whether you're going to pass a class, whether, you name it. You know where I'm going with that. So I just want you to take a moment and think. There'll be some music playing, and you can follow me whenever your time feels right.
Your pain will be made mine. All your trouble, the tears you cry, give it up. All the binds, I will place it on my shoulder, and up this hill I'll climb. Father, give me strength. I know there is no other way, so I lay down my life for you. This is the moment when all will be made new. I know that you don't understand, but this is part of a greater your true love to set you free.
Okay, thank you for participating in the activity. Good job, everyone. Okay, so now I'm going to pray, and I'll be done speaking. Okay, so God, you are so good. You love us even when we choose to be fearful instead of trusting in you. Please help us to remember to turn to you when we are filled with anxiety, worry, and fear. Amen. Thanks, you guys, for listening.